DNVR Broncos Live, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Get over to DraftKings Sportsbook. Use the code DNVR to get in on all their great deals. And we are coming to you from Studio A here at the DNVR bar, where the A stands for... Ain't that exciting.
Oh. Wait, ain't that exciting?
Not like, ain't that exciting.
With a question mark?
It's like, this ain't that exciting.
So no question mark.
No question. Oh, right.
Ain't that exciting? Or like,
nope.
Ain't that exciting?
Boy, this
ain't
is a
that
confusing
exciting,
one.
period.
Oh, wow.
No question mark.
Big old period there.
It's the first time I brought in ain't. That's a good one. I'm going to keep using that.
I don't know if it was good, though. It's confusing.
You're the only one confused.
Henry's kind of confused.
Well, I mean,
he knew what I was talking about. He just wanted to, play around a little bit.
I thought I knew what you're talking about, but I also thought we might be like, pretend to hype this day up a little bit more.
So this is a tough one for me, boys, because just finished the Buffs pod where we finished talking about how they got the 9th highest rated corner of all time, and they have a 5-star quarterback visiting.
He's like 150 pounds, right?
And normally, like, I would be like, if we were talking
Sean with that, Henry.
if we were talking Sean Payton, like, I would be like, all right, like, let's roll the momentum. But
that's what we've done.
Dan Quinn.
Wow, I'm surrounded
drop
by
off of excitement for me.
I'm gonna have to bring the energy today because I'm surrounded by two Debbie Dan Quinn downers.
Debbie Dans.
Debbie Dans.
Dan Downers.
Dan Downers.
I don't know. These laughs kind of make it sound like you guys are maybe into Quinn.
Yeah.
Into Quinn.
Into Quinn. How about a little DQ Blizzard action?
Ooh.
That would actually be cool to call it the
those.
Blizzard defense.
Ooh, okay. A little Blizzy.
Yeah.
But no. They can't be hiring Dan Quinn for his defense because we've been down this path time and time again. Even this year, when they hired an offensive head coach, it was still like, oh, man, the defense is what's going to carry us to 5-12.
Yep. That's what happened.
Oh. Wah, wah. Okay, I'm down.
You're down?
I'm down on Dan.
Down on Dan. Dan Downer, check it in.
See, I think the worst part of this is that we all have pretty similar ideas about who we like as coaches. It'd be nice if we just had like one true Dan Quinn fanboy, you know?
Well,
you see a couple. There are a couple of them on Twitter. I feel like we need to do those people justice.
Well, we don't have to hype Dan Quinn up unnecessarily.
Can I just quickly say, I don't think Dan Quinn is a bad candidate.
No.
He's just a really boring candidate.
He's a single.
Wow.
You hit a single. Congrats.
Then what have the Broncos been hitting in the past 7 years?
Oh, they haven't made contact in years.
Wow. So you're saying Hackett was just a look in 3 strikes.
Is he also a single in the sense that he is getting one single interview in this cycle?
Dan Quinn is?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even. I would just assume.
I think the Broncos are the only team that's interviewing him.
Okay, so then there was a little nugget dropped by Ian Rappaport, I think, this morning.
This is a perfect example of why no one cares who broke the news. We can't even remember 20 minutes later.
I was thinking about just how breaking news is not as big of a deal now as it was 20 years ago, as it was 10 years ago, as it was 5 years ago.
I'm like, it was definitely either Schefter, Rappaport, Tom Pelissero, or maybe Kliss.
Right. Exactly. And they all have our follows, so like good. They got us, and it doesn't matter.
It would suck if that news never came out, though.
Oh, yeah, someone's got to do it. I'm just saying.
Somebody's got to do it. They're just not going to get the credit for it. That's a bad job.
And then people come here to just hear us talk about it, you know? Exactly. So one of those people, I'll give a shout out to Rap Sheet.
Nice.
For putting this out there, said today, tell me if you think this was covering or not.
Okay.
You got it?
Nope, go ahead.
Said that Dan Quinn has been very selective with the interviews that he wants to take, pointing to, the 2 interviews he has.
So he does have a second interview, and it is with the Colts.
Both today. Yeah.
Got 1 day.
Yep, got 1 day to try to win 2 jobs and at the same time try to win a playoff game on Sunday.
It's weird that this, like, I don't know. This is a perfect example of how Dan Quinn is a good candidate but not exciting. He was asked today, I believe it was Jory Epstein who covers the Cowboys, tweeted this out. And he was asked, like, is it tough to prepare for a playoff game and prepare for interviews? And he was like, well, I had a feeling that, I hoped that these opportunities would arise for me. So I prepared for these interviews months ago. And by doing that, now I can focus all on the playoff game. And just like when he said that, I was like, that guy, he knows what he's doing.
Yep.
He's like an organized, good leader.
Yeah, he's not going to be Quinnen on his team. That one. No.
But also,
No,
though,
I'm not
like,
saying no. I'm just
Okay.
wouldn't you have to do some of the prep recently? Like if you're preparing for an interview, a lot of what you do is say like, oh, if I took over the organization, here's what I would do. It's like you didn't have a plan for fixing Russ before we knew Russ was broken.
well, mate. He probably texted George Payton in like week 6, like, LOL, nice hire. And then George was like, hey, start prepping for your interview next offseason.
I mean, and Henry, that's why it's just a good coach answer right there, is because, that's not true.
No, it can't be.
He definitely had to be doing some prep. And Woody Page, I think we kind of already knew this, but Woody Page made it clear in his article yesterday that he dropped, said this is the first, he said this is the first time we're hearing of this, so maybe we didn't know this before, but he said Dan Quinn bombed the interview last year. And so I hope Dan is taking a different approach. I hope he didn't prep for last year's interview many months before, because that didn't work out for him, according to Woody Page. So hope he's doing a little something different here, and that kind of maybe lends a little insight into why they didn't even have a second interview with Dan Quinn, as he was viewed as the favorite all of last year.
I might be overconfident here, which you guys know I usually am.
Yeah.
I haven't had an actual job interview, I think, since I was like 17. But I just don't think I could possibly bomb an interview with one of my friends.
That's what seems so weird about it, especially when that friend's had all the power
And wants you to do well.
Yes, wants you, and the other people that are in the interview are like, most of them are on their way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just think if one of my friends wanted to be hired to their company and they're like, we do have to go through the interview process, I would just nail the. I feel like I would nail the interview.
I do just want to.
Yeah.
I wish we knew what went wrong, because it wasn't like, oh, so who'd you hire for an offensive coordinator? Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Right.
Is that what happened?
Right.
Were they bad answers? Did he not have answers? Like
It, or I could see it being a first-time head coach, or just kind of a different person for a head coach, like Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
Coming into an interview and just being himself a little too much, and it comes off as kind of weird.
Ian himself certainly worked for Nathaniel Hackett.
It did. No, and I'm not trying to say anything against Mike McDaniel. I'm just saying, like, Dan Quinn just seems like he's a guy that would come in and do fine. Floor is fine.
Great comment from Bronx Bronco. Do you think he brought in his stepbrother and let out like a 30-second fart?
wow.
See, that's like more of the Mike McDaniel. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett has referenced Step Brothers, so not putting him down there.
He's like, I think I can help you guys with this whole Peyton situation.
What if it was like this time if he bombed, it'd be because he did all of his prep in the off season, and so he showed up and they'd be like, oh, so what do you want to do with the first round draft pick? He said, no, you traded that for Russell. They're like, no, we got another for Bradley Chubb. Remember? It's like, what about the receivers? And it's
Colin
like,
Cowherd did
Cortland
that.
Sutton and those guys. Like, does he not know who's on the team?
Or
Does
he would
I
be
don't
like,
know.
so this is for a defensive coordinator job, right? Since you hired Hackett last year, and that must still be going on.
Right? Maybe he ordered a taco at Los Dos.
Oh,
Or I mean, not a taco, like
burger?
a hot dog,
Yeah.
Wow.
which is
What if
kind of like a taco.
What
That'd
if he
be
wanted
messed
a
up.
glizzy?
No, well, we don't have time today.
He wanted to show George Payton.
He's like, do you guys have any
You want to?
hot dogs? Peyton's like, all right, I'm out.
So should we dive into Dan Quinn?
3 minutes on the clock.
This is gonna be an exciting 3
I
minutes.
was gonna say maybe we just drop it down to 2.
No.
Wow.
The 3 minutes.
Wow. I'm gonna start us off. See if I can get us on the right track. 3
Okay.
minutes on Dan Quinn. Starting now. Dan Quinn, respected, loved.
The clock is not counting down.
Oh wow, this is tough. Okay. 3 minutes. Man, I think I gave all my energy there. Someone else want to start?
No, you got
Oh,
this.
go
jeez.
ahead.
Okay, Dan Quinn. 3 minutes. Dan Quinn.
Respected.
Respected,
Yep.
loved by everyone, and shut down the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 48. Absolutely destroyed them. That's
Why
kinda
would you bring
where
up old stuff?
That's kind of where you start with Dan Quinn, is on the defensive side. He is viewed as a very good defensive coordinator, starting back with that Seattle Seahawks defense. He was their defensive coordinator, did so well in 2 years with them that he got the Atlanta Falcons head coaching job, was there for 6 years, fired midway through his final season. But when he was there, he brought the Falcons to the Super Bowl. If you want to be positive on Dan Quinn, don't look at the blown 27-3 lead, but he got them there, was able to put up a good defense there. That was Kyle Shanahan's fault. Yeah, Kyle Shanahan there, but he was given a lot of credit for bringing in a lot of talent at that offensive coordinator position, specifically Kyle Shanahan. And then, of course, these past 2 years, he's been absolutely balling out with the Dallas Cowboys defense. Took them from a really bad defense to one of the league's best, and his players love him, including Micah Parsons.
Yeah, and, again, like DeMeco Ryans, you're wondering, what exactly is he going to do with the defense? Is he somebody who's going to come in and kind of run a defense? Because we've seen that work really well in the past. The Legion of Boom defense that went and won a Super Bowl. The Cowboys defense now, some penalty issues that you don't love to see. But outside of that, they're playing really good football. And we'll see them play the 49ers this weekend. That'll be a lot of fun. But, I mean, the sacks that defense produces, despite moving Micah Parsons around, they're not just saying rush the passer every time. There is something to Dan Quinn as a defensive guy that could attract the Broncos. More likely, though, the appeal is that he has head coaching experience. He can hire somebody to do everything else. And you're not going to be incompetent. That's what you're going to get with Dan Quinn, is somebody who's been there before, who knows how to do the job. He might not be the very best at that job, but he does know how to do that job, and you will be competent, and you won't look like what you did in 2022.
This is the ultimate John Fox hire. I mean, the ultimate John Fox hire. You're taking a coach who has been successful, for sure, not so successful that it blows you out of the water, but it's... To me, the word or the phrase that comes to mind with Dan Quinn is adult in the room.
Yeah.
You need an adult in the room to kind of come and say, you can't do that. You kind of have to do it this way. Experienced and also very revered by players, very respected. And so it's the CEO type, but it's more like, let's just get someone who knows what they're doing. And we know that for sure. And that's kind of exactly what John Fox, when he came here, all the way down to the fact that both had been to a Super Bowl but not won it when they were hired by the Broncos or potentially hired by the Broncos. So Dan Quinn, the adult in the room. It's why it's not flashy, it's not exciting, but it could be a good move to get you from point A to point B.
Absolutely. And when we talk about Dan Quinn loved, I think is something that we have to use. He is loved by the coaches that he coaches with, by the organizations that he's with, and by his players. In fact, Micah Parsons said he's going wherever Dan Quinn goes. And so maybe Micah Parsons, when he's a free agent, coming to Denver if you hire him. Boy, you get Micah Parsons and Pat Surtain. Pay those guys like a combined $60 million. And then George Payton, that would look good for him too. He didn't have to choose between Micah Parsons and Pat Surtain in that draft. He got them both. But, I mean, that's what Dan Quinn is. And when we talk about how do you handle Russell Wilson moving forward, I think Dan Quinn, in terms of handling the off-field stuff with Russell Wilson, would honestly be like a perfect in-between of what Russ wants and what the team wants, because we talked about Jim Harbaugh. He would come in and he would say, Russ, no office. Russ, no special treatment. Russ, no, and really beat him down to be one of the guys, one of the 53-man guys. Dan Quinn, and Russ may not like that because it may be humiliating, it may be way too harsh. Dan Quinn would come in and maybe gently take away the office where it's not embarrassing. He would, give him some leeway because he's a quarterback. Maybe it turns into a smaller office on the first floor instead of on the second floor where all the executives are. And he would just be able to manage the human aspect of not just Russell Wilson, but the entire team in a fantastic way. So I know we were joking about Dan Quinn not being exciting, but he would really be an adult in the room, like you said, Ryan, and be a really good manager of not just the team, but the organization.
Yeah, and someone in the comments said, why do you guys hate Dan Quinn? We really don't.
We don't hate Dan Quinn.
It's actually, the problem is that I don't have really strong feelings either way on Dan Quinn. That's who he is, right? Yeah. He's just kind of there. I think he could be good. He's not going to fire anyone up. He's not going to move any needles when it comes to season ticket sales or anything like that. Not that the Broncos need any help with season tickets, but you know what I mean. He's not going to fire up the fan base in a way that has people, talking about maybe we can turn it around and go to the playoffs next year. It's more of like let's rebuild this thing. Let's maybe not that word, but let's get this train on the tracks.
Let's
Yeah, let's get this train on the tracks, and then we'll get to our destination. Whereas like Sean Payton is the let's swing for the fences.
Yep.
Let's see if we can turn this thing around immediately. And really quick, speaking of Sean Payton, 2 odds updates.
Ooh.
So yesterday, Sean Payton moved to plus 175. He took over being the favorite to get the Denver Broncos head coaching job.
Tied, right, with Dan Quinn?
Yesterday, he was at plus 175. Dan Quinn was at plus 225.
Yep.
Today, or maybe late yesterday, they're tied.
Okay.
Sean Payton plus 175. Dan Quinn plus 175. Henry yesterday said, hey, you guys need to make lower odds for David Shaw. They said, okay, cool. We'll make higher odds for David Shaw. Plus 1,200 for David Shaw. I actually believe, I guess there's value on really anything here. David Shaw plus 1,200 is actually like a low-key
I know.
good bet.
It feels good. I just wish I could have doubled my money on 15-1 odds and then gotten out of there because I don't want to have to cheer for that.
Yeah.
Ryan, is Jim Harbaugh on there?
Jim Harbaugh
You know, the guy that dropped out of the race?
is not on here.
Not out of the race.
No
Not,
chance.
not surprised. I mean, he dropped out on
Yep.
Monday. I think there's a scenario where he's maybe back in,
What?
and DraftKings Sportsbook is going to throw that on there.
What?
And first, I got to tell you about our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. You want to get in on these odds? Check out our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. I like Sean Payton at 175. Even though he's the favorite, it's easy to go with, but
Still plus money.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's plus money. You win $175 if you bet $100, or same. So you win $7 if you bet $5, whatever it is. So check out our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's also fun to check out where the Cardinals, who's the favorite on the Cardinals, and the other teams to kind of get a feeling. Okay, here's where Sean Payton stands. Here's where Dan Quinn stands. If you want to
Cardinals,
look at.
really quick, Brian Flores plus 150, Sean Payton plus 350.
Oh, and Sean Payton's 2 for them.
Yep.
There's some
Vance Joseph plus 500.
That's some serious separation there for Cardinals. They seem to be zooming in on Brian Flores. If you want to get in on these plus odds, check out DraftKings Sportsbook. And, of course, bet $5 on any NFL game this weekend, and they'll give you $200, 2 Benjamins, just for placing a $5 bet on any NFL game. Then you'll be able to turn that money, that free money, into real money by placing it on any game this weekend. It doesn't just have to be football. It can be on any game. So check them out over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Use that promo code DNVR when you sign up to turn $5 into $200. That's code DNVR over at DraftKings Sportsbook. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700 and see show notes for details.
And also, while you're watching and betting on all these football games this weekend, make sure that you're drinking some Breckenridge beers. This, to me, is just straight up beer season. In the summer, you can kind of get behind seltzers, because it's kind of like a fruity. But this time of year, especially for football playoffs, it's just beer time.
Beer season.
It's beer season. It's
Right,
beer
I like
season.
this.
So like the Avalanche is probably I think just the best. Oh, it's what we have right there. Yeah. The best-
Is that a full pack, too?
It is. Fresh pack.
Wow. Because, the other ones that make it on here are always empty.
Yeah, actually, we're going to put a poll in the YouTube comments. Who has the best performance on the show today of the three of us? Winner gets to take the beer.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. High
Wow.
stakes show.
Yes, but as I was saying, that's the perfect beer for this weekend. It's just drinkable. You can have a bunch of them. Nothing too crazy about it. Just a good, solid, classic beer. If you want to check it out, you can go to breckbrew.com, use the beer locator, click on whatever beer you want to try. I'll tell you where to go to pick it up.
All right.
Tom Pelissero yesterday.
What a tease, by the way. Great job.
Thank you. Tom Pelissero yesterday said an interesting thing about Jim Harbaugh. When he was going through the Broncos coaching candidates, he mentioned Harbaugh and then didn't just mention him. He's out of the race. You could have just mentioned Jim Harbaugh and then moved on. He said Jim Harbaugh wanted to continue to interview with the Broncos, but he didn't want to go through the entire process. He said eventually Harbaugh got to a point where he said, okay, I'm just going to go back to Michigan instead of waiting.
Really quick.
Yep.
Didn't someone maybe on this set say maybe that's what happened?
Yeah, potentially. Yes. Now, the first thing that pops into my mind with that is, what was Harbaugh thinking this process was going to be like? Did he think he was really going to win the job in a 1-2 hour Zoom interview?
Yes, that's what a big ego man thinks. Is that, if I talk to these
He's
guys,
like, bro, you guys hired Vance Joseph like that.
Yeah. Do you see me? Do you see me sitting right here? Yes, let's do this. We can talk in person on Monday, and then you can give me the job then. It's the same thing. I mean, that was the report out of the Vikings interview last year, was that he didn't even treat it like an interview.
Yeah.
He treated it like they wanted him and they should try to win him over. And the Vikings were like, wait, what is happening here? And then gave the job to Kevin O'Connell. Like, this is the most Jim Harbaugh story there is.
I love this.
But I mean, like, his agent has to be like, okay, this is going to be a 2-week process. And maybe he didn't know how long it was going to be. Maybe he thought they were just going to hire after the first round of interviews. And he was hoping the first round of interviews was going to be done last Friday. But I think another interesting thing about this, he called the Michigan president, Santa Oso, I believe, on Monday afternoon to tell him he was coming back. He talked to the Broncos the Broncos CEO Greg Penner Monday morning. Do you think on that phone call there was anything of, hey, you know, I can't do this recruiting to wait 2 more weeks for this. What if we just get a deal done now? And Greg said, shit, like, you're one of my top guys, which we know he was one of their top guys, and said, I can't. You know, I have four interviews scheduled. Hadn't even met with Sean Payton at that point. So said, okay, let's just move on from here. You can go back to Michigan. And what if Jim at the end said, if Sean doesn't work out, one of your guys doesn't work out, I don't have a contract yet.
Call me back.
Yeah, call me back. So no wonder there's been no news this week about it. Yep. But what if the Broncos don't get Sean Payton? What if then there is a big drop-off next week in their minds? Or what if there's a drop-off between Dan Quinn and Sean Payton and Dan Quinn decides to go back to Dallas for a year? I mean, unless Jim Harbaugh gets a contract that we all know about, what's really changed with Jim Harbaugh?
It's a great point. And Henry, help me out here. I feel like I can sometime recently remember a coach saying, like, I'm coming back. I'm not going anywhere.
Boy.
And then
in the college ranks?
Yeah. It was. I think it was college. And then,
maybe appearing on every radio station one day, and then that night saying, "Oops, nope, I'm jumping on a plane."
Sorry, I was gonna stay, but now I'm not.
Yes, we were just deep in talks with a contract for Michigan State.
Wait, did you cover that team?
Sure did. I met him that day.
School?
I sure did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do we not mention his name?
You can call him Midnight Mel if you want.
Okay.
Crazy,
Midnight Mel.
still crazy. Mel Tucker is. This isn't a David Shaw thing, but like one of the like 7 coaches or 6 coaches or whoever makes more money than David Shaw. Like the list is like Nick Saban, Kirby Smart.
1 bowl game in 3 years as a head coach.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's all like the big names.
Not even Jim
Lincoln
Harbaugh
Riley's
makes
up
more
there.
than him.
No. It's just like big name. Mel Tucker. It's like he did well for himself. Like
They really
congrats to Mel.
called their shot on that one.
They really did
Yes,
call their
they
shot
did.
on that
Also,
one.
they cleared the path.
For 10 years, too.
Dominic says, FYI, Michigan just fired their co-offensive coordinator. Could add to this story.
Maybe. So all I'm saying is nothing has changed
It's a really
with
good
Jim
point.
Harbaugh, other than it helps his recruiting to make it public
Yep.
that he's going back. And Jim Harbaugh, if he really is going to leave for the NFL, he doesn't care about Michigan in terms of like how much it hurts him. So he's doing the right thing for Michigan recruiting. And if he's going to stay at Michigan, then he might as well do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
and
ahead.
I hate conspiracy theories. I think usually the most
Really?
obvious answer is the most likely answer. You're kind of getting me on this one though.
Oh.
I don't think you're wrong, especially because it is Jim Harbaugh. Like if
That's
they're
a good point.
it's college football coaches in general, more than willing to just go totally back on their word 1 or 2 weeks later. Like when Jim Harbaugh leaves Michigan, it is going to be chaos. It is going to be a scenario like this one where he's like, I'm back. I'm not back. Oh, this time I'm really back.
Right.
Nah, maybe not back. Actually, no, not back at all. Like that is how this sort of thing would go.
Not getting a new contract gives him a great arrow in his, what do you call that thing?
Cap?
Quill?
Oh,
Quiver.
Quiver. Great arrow in his quiver. Because he can just be like, well, yeah, I wanted to come back and I thought we were going to negotiate a new contract. But then once I said I was coming back, nothing was getting done.
Yep.
So I had to go do what was best for me and my family.
And you know what would have to happen is the Broncos don't get Sean Payton, and then if they want Jim Harbaugh, they'd have to send the private jet out to get him, maybe in Midnight Mel form, bring him here, have him here all day in Denver, and then he leaves with doesn't leave. You know, he signs a contract then, because if you're bringing him in, he's not going to want to go back to Michigan and have any opportunity of him not getting the job after this.
You don't think you're gonna like send the Broncos camera crew with him?
Yeah.
To, like go, pack up some boxes.
I wonder if they keep doing that.
No.
Oh, it's
I don't think
completely done.
It has to be.
It's done.
Which is a shame because those were fun. Like I enjoyed like watching, but
They were.
you
I mean,
just
it was
can't
great.
keep sending
It was-
camera crews.
No, it was great insight, and behind the Broncos is apparently very done.
Makes sense.
It's behind us.
Yes,
Makes
it
sense.
really is. One season, we'll always have that one season.
We will always have that one season.
It's kind of like True Detective, like one great season.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that?
When I was in high school,
Yeah.
like early high school,
I haven't
think.
seen it, but all I heard was season 1 was like the best TV ever, and then it dropped off.
Perfect example of it. It was, highly recommend.
Yep.
Because that was one where like the other seasons didn't like build on the first season or something, right?
It was each season kind of existed in
Yeah.
its own world.
They're separate, yeah.
I think it was just so successful season 1 that they were like, I think we kind of have to make a season 2,
Right,
but
right,
like
right,
it
right.
wasn't written to ever have a season 2.
right.
yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna have to, was that Matthew McConaughey?
It was Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson.
What a duo.
Really
I'm gonna
good.
rewatch that.
You should rewatch it. It's best season of TV ever, in my opinion.
So we do have a headline that I want to make sure that we actually answer the question to.
Yes.
The headline of this podcast was, could Dan Quinn's performance in the playoffs impact whether he becomes the Broncos head coach or not? And I want to get your guys' answer on that. But first, I got to tell you about our friends over at Jive Hive. This is such a cool new service that I can't believe isn't offered yet, and Jive Hive is making it so they are the first ones to offer this. Think of Jive Hive as Uber Eats for weed. They're going to deliver the weed straight to you. And one of the things that's great about it is you don't have to worry about like bumping into someone at a store. If you want it just delivered straight to your door, they're going to do that for you. Also, they don't have stores, so you don't have to. So it's going to be better prices for you because they're not paying for a bunch of rent or a mortgage on a place. They just deliver the weed straight to you. And right now, they've got areas that they're delivering to. They are delivering to Aurora, Greenwood Village, Monument, Fountain, and various areas of El Paso County. So if you want to check them out, go to jivehive.com. That's JIVEHYVE.com to get a delivery sent to you.
Also got to check out our friends over at Backus and Shanker. Call 222-2222. That's 7 2s if you needed to keep track of it.
You've got a 2 on your shirt.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is 2... Well, this is actually S squared.
I think it's a dollar sign.
$sign squared. Yeah. Stands for Shador Sanders. But 222-2222 is how you get a hold of our friends at Backus and Shanker. And they specialize in if you get hurt and it's someone else's fault. Kind of like me when Mel Tucker left. Like I was hurt, it was his fault. And I should have called Backus and Shanker because Backus and Shanker has won over $1 billion for their clients. They win for Colorado families, and they've been doing it in Colorado for over 25 years. They help with all kinds of injury cases when you weren't at fault. Car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrians, trucks, a coach leaving. They can help if you got injured at work as well. So call 222-2222 to find out if you have a case for free. You don't have to pay anything until they win for you.
Wouldn't $1 times $1 still be $1? Just with the dollar squared thing.
Yeah, I think it would be. Yeah, 1 times
Anything
1 is
times 1 is
1.
itself.
Yeah.
It is. Yes.
But it's not. It's a S
But
squared.
if they're both 1, then they're both itself. So it's just Shador Sanders is double himself. I don't know.
I feel like I missed something.
I think you're overthinking it.
Maybe.
As you often do.
Dollar squared.
You know what I think the people are overthinking? Not hitting us with a thumbs up. Please do that. It really helps us out.
Jake's over there
Yeah.
just like thumbing his nose at us because Buff Show did 436
Yep.
likes. And he's like,
Yep.
wow, you guys have 38 likes right now? Those are rookie numbers. Get your
Come
numbers
on,
up.
come on.
He hit us with one.
Come
There was a
on.
pity thumbs up.
I know. We need some love here. I mean, the Broncos have been going through a tough stretch, but not this tough, where we're getting beat by the Buffs tenfold. Come on, this is Broncos country here. Hit us with a thumbs up. We truly would appreciate it. And also a 5-star review if you're tuning in on the podcast side. Okay, the headline of today's show. Could the Dallas Cowboys' playoff success impact whether the Denver Broncos
us with a
hire
thumbs up while you're
Dan
there.
Quinn? I really should hit us with the thumbs up. And People may be saying, Zach, just 4 days ago, 3 days ago, you were saying how Dan Quinn dominating Tom Brady should not have anything to do with hiring him as the next head coach, and you're right. But I actually am thinking the opposite
yep.
with this. If Dan Quinn continues to win and continues to stay in the playoffs, and you can't bring him in during the week, does that hurt him, guys?
This is such a weird thing.
It is.
Success should not hurt your ability to get a job.
No.
But it does. It just does. So the only way he gets it is if after today, in my opinion, if after today the Broncos decide he's the one, it's over. We don't need to bring him in. We don't need to do anything else. We'll wait as long as we have to wait. He's the guy. Doesn't matter. I don't think that's what's going to happen, though. And because of that, it's going to be very difficult for him to kind of keep up with like a Sean Payton who could be on the ground in Denver on Monday. Yeah. And I just don't know how you compete with that, especially when you're already up against the 8 ball when it comes to track record and attractiveness as a coaching candidate.
We've already seen this. Remember with Vic Fangio?
Yep.
When what playoff game was that? It was the first
double
round
doink.
of the playoffs. Yeah. It was the double. Who were they playing?
The Eagles.
The Eagles, the double doink. And we talked about it. If that kick goes... Wait, was it the Bears kicking it?
Yep.
And missed it?
Cody Parkey.
Yep, you're right. If that kick goes in, the Broncos may have never hired Vic Fangio. Because Mike Munchak, it was down to those two, and they liked Mike Munchak a lot. And if you don't have to wait for a guy, you're not going to wait for him. And with Sean Payton, Ryan, you bring up a really good point, how Dan Quinn's not by far and away their guy. And unless that changes today, I don't think they're going to wait for him. Because if you wait, you lose out on assistant coaches. It just delays everything. And I don't think this Broncos ownership group wants to wait that long. So it really does suck for Dan Quinn. And there's unfortunately no right answer of how you do this moving forward, because you probably don't make every team wait to interview people until after the Super Bowl. But even when was the last time a team hired a coach that was on a Super Bowl team? Was it Kyle Shanahan?
Must have been.
Do we have to go back that far?
Probably.
That it just doesn't happen often. These guys do get penalized for being on good teams, so I do think it would hurt him.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Eagles, maybe. Or is that
Maybe
what you're
Zach
thinking?
Taylor?
With the
Is that post the Rams Super Bowl year?
oh man, that could have been right in between.
Yeah. I don't know.
He was okay. So maybe Zach Taylor.
Okay.
But then I think since Kyle Shanahan's been, what's it been, 5 years, 6 years? So 2 guys in 6 years on the best teams in the NFL.
Yep.
You would think those guys are getting plucked left and right.
Right. It's
Yeah.
really interesting.
It is.
And I think there's something to it, Zach. And so despite the fact that Jared in the comments says you're now the conductor of the roller coaster,
Oh, no, Henry still got that,
I
baby.
think you are actually consistent. It just sounded like you weren't going
It
to be.
did, yeah, and I wanted to kind of make sure that I wasn't looking not consistent. But guys, speaking of the playoffs, shall we give some playoff picks?
Let's do it.
We can just do it without a graphic.
Yeah,
okay, so first let's just start with tomorrow's games. We'll start Jaguars going in to Kansas City. According to DraftKings Sportsbook, this is the worst game of the weekend. I'll start there. Do you agree with that?
No.
Oh. Upset?
I don't know, but I don't think it's going to be a bad game.
I like that. Chiefs, and why I say that, Chiefs are 9-point favorites. That's huge for the second round of the playoffs.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you subscribe to the idea of like the Jags caught a momentum wave and now they're going to be like extra, I don't know, just like in Madden, like their morale is so high that all their players are playing above? Or do you subscribe to like, that's the most insane win ever, the celebration and like the emotional energy that was expended on that will actually be really hard for them to get back up for this one?
They've just had so many games like that they have real Team of Destiny vibes.
Ooh, see, that's what I would be saying if that was their head coach.
Yeah, probably.
And you know
so-
why he's saying that? Because he has Super Bowl odds on the Jags.
But I would very much prefer the Chiefs financially to win the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Because you remember I made
Didn't
those
you get the
season
Jags at like plus 8,000?
Yeah.
That means he put way more money on the Chiefs at whatever he got them at.
So,
Probably has some parlays. tied up.
Right,
so
right,
what
right.
happened was I had all those season-long bets, all the futures that took out. So I took like half that money out and put half of it on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, parlayed with Jokic MVP.
Man,
So-
people in Denver hate half of you.
I hate me too. And to be fair, we'll see what happens this weekend. I have a feeling I'm going to be pulling for the Jags anyway, just because I can't, especially given that I have the 80-1 on them. But I do think that the worst game of the weekend is between this one and Eagles Giants.
I think that's the worst game of the
so.
weekend.
It's just whether
Both tomorrow, great Saturday.
what a day. It's just whether the Giants can give the Eagles a better fight or whether the Jags can give the Chiefs a better fight, and I think it's kind of a wash.
I don't know why. Maybe it's just because this is the type of person I am. All week, I've just been thinking about that long home playoff losing streak the Chiefs had. And I don't know why. Like, that's such a
yeah.
thing of the past. But for
is.
some reason, it's just been like coming up in my brain. I have no idea why. I didn't think about it last year or the year before. This year, I'm just like, remember when the Chiefs were cursed at home in the playoffs? Maybe the curse is still lingering, and that's why I'm getting a taste of it.
So you buying the Jags kind of buying off the momentum in the second half then and carrying it over this week?
I think Hank has a point of like, once you as a team, you've just experienced these moments where you're like, we can never die. You can never kill us. It's super powerful.
Yeah.
And so I think that they have a shot.
You know-
There's also a chance that like Patrick Mahomes throws a touchdown on the first 3 plays, then they go 3 and out, and then it happens again the other way, and the game's just over.
Yeah,
Yep.
or they come back. What if they're down 27-0? They do that to back-to-back AFC West opponents? Oh, my God.
Chiefs almost blew 24-0 to the Broncos.
It's very true.
Yep.
It's a really good point. And speaking of kind of that team that has the confidence, it reminds me of the 2015 Broncos. How many close games were they in? And the defense was always allowing the team to be in it. And the defense, every other game, came up with a huge play to help win the game. And there's just a belief. The Broncos knew, that defense knew, like, okay, the offense is going to put up 13 points this week. We're going to score 14 to win this, whether it's getting the offense in good shape, whether we're taking one back or something like that. So there really could be something to that.
2 things. One, I made this promise on bets. I just want to make sure it's public for all to hear.
Okay.
I have a new tradition in life.
Okay.
Last year, I promised if Joe Burrow beats Patrick Mahomes, I'll buy a Joe Burrow jersey.
Oh.
And I do. I have it hanging in my
Oh.
closet.
Wow.
I wore it for the Super Bowl last year.
Big revelation on my front with Joe Burrow, but continue.
Trevor Lawrence, you get it done. I'm rocking the black Jags Trevor Lawrence jersey on this show. The only one that I won't do is Tom Brady. I won't.
You don't have to worry about it,
Yeah.
Tom. No.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he beat Mahomes twice.
He did.
So all that has to happen is Trev to win tomorrow.
Yep. Also, I just have to remember this quote has been playing in my head. It actually came from like a 14-year-old, my friend's son, who is a Chiefs fan. Last year, after the AFC Championship game, before the AFC Championship game, they were talking about maybe Burrow and Mahomes is the new Brady and Manning. My friend's son, he's a Chiefs fan. They were at the game. They lost. My friend's son looked at him and said, "What if Burrow is Brady and Mahomes is Manning?"
Oh, man. I mean, could kind of stack up like that right now because, I mean, they
didn't
both have,
win last year,
that one has a Super Bowl, the other doesn't. But in terms of like who is viewed as the best for 6
And, like,
months of the year,
maybe he's not as talented, but he's more clutch or whatever.
Right. Oh, man. Broncos would be okay with that.
Yeah.
And you know what? For being AFC West, or for being AFC teams, Cincinnati and Jacksonville, those are like the most harmless teams in terms of like Broncos can, they could support you rocking a Lawrence jersey
Totally.
or a Burrow jersey.
Yeah.
Okay,
Brady is just that wouldn't be a cool jersey to have.
everyone has them.
Right.
I mean, probably a lot of people have Lawrence and Burrow jerseys.
But like cooler people.
Yeah. There we. So, you doing it? Are you going to be rocking the Trevor Lawrence jersey after tomorrow? Plus 370. No, Ryan. And make sure to tune in. We could give our scores too, but make sure to tune in to thednvr.com this weekend for our picks against the spread, where we're actually putting those down.
I don't think the Jags have the horses in the secondary to make this happen.
Agreed.
Yeah, the over-under's 53, so Vegas is saying this is going to be a fun game. Even if it's not a good game? Can it be a fun game and not a good game?
If it ended like 40-31, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not what they're
potential.
saying. They're saying more
Yeah.
like 20 or like 29, 20.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Math is tough on a Friday.
32 to 22. 21.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly it. That would be a good enough game.
Yeah.
You know, if the Jags are getting 20
sure.
points. So we're all taking the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Easily.
Henry, come on. You got 80 to 1 on the Jags. Do
I
it.
know, but it's.
He's got 80 to 1
I
for
didn't
a
bet on
reason.
the Chiefs because I want them to win. It wasn't like an emotional hedge. I just think they're legitimately the best football team by a wide margin, and so I just can't pick against them.
Before we go any further, I have to update you guys with all of our standings. Got a lot of standings to update.
So many standings.
We are still doing, as long as there's an AFC West team, Ryan,
Yeah.
we decided we're still doing our AFC West picks. So right now,
I don't believe that's relevant to you. Sorry.
it might be.
Oh no!
It might
no.
be. Henry and I are tied for first at 31 and 22. Ryan, you're at 30 and 23.
Ooh.
So you can't gain ground. If the Jags win, Henry and I win, tied for first. But you can stay alive.
But I'll stay yeah.
Yep. If the Chiefs
Wow.
win, everyone's still alive going into next week. We're also tracking playoffs. Ryan, it's the opposite. You're not tied. You're first.
Sure am.
Yep.
6-0 after last week. Don't worry. I'm not gonna I'm not just gonna be biased here. Henry and I are tied for last, 4-2. So you got a 2-game lead on us with the playoffs. Now, for our season-long
I'm the Brady.
teams. What?
I'm the Brady.
Not for our season-long teams.
No, that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I just performed in the playoffs.
Not this time. You have 86 points, Ryan, and you have 3 teams still alive.
Oh, that's kind of impressive.
I'm sorry. You have 2 teams still alive. You have the Cowboys.
Oh.
Could take you far.
No.
And you have the Bengals. Could take you far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, like I feel like the last time we talked about this, the Bengals were still average, and then they just won
Yes.
every game
Yeah,
after that.
It's
Yep.
really true. The Bengals did help you. In fact, the Bengals are tied for the Cowboys with your highest scoring team. I don't think you can actually win. I think you're already mathematically eliminated.
Probably.
Henry, you're at 102 points
Okay, that's not bad.
with one.
Didn't we say it was worth like 50 points if you have the Super Bowl winner?
Whoa.
I don't think it was 50.
Henry, you're at 102 points. You have 2 playoff teams left, the Jaguars and the 49ers.
Okay.
Could be some good points there. I'm at 111 points.
And you have all the rest of the playoff teams.
Exactly.
With 4?
With 4 playoff teams left. So looks like I'm pulling away with that one, but
Wait, but are the playoffs weighted at all?
2 points for each win.
Ugh.
Yeah. So I'm sorry.
Feels like it should just like go up every round.
Oh, we could have negotiated that
We
in.
could have.
Okay, so that's where we stand. We've all got the Chiefs winning this first one. Tomorrow night, the other bad game. Eagles hosting the Giants. That one's 7.5 points. Ryan, you want to ruin stuff in your household? You want to pick the Giants here?
Nope. I have no interest in doing
okay.
either of those things, whether it's picking the Giants or ruining things in my household.
Smart.
Eagles by a significant margin.
I think the Giants are pretty good. I think they're better than people give them credit for. I think people are looking at them
Good.
like, how are they in the playoffs? Like
Top
they're
3
not.
running quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, and you saw them
incredible.
carve them up last week.
That's not based on anything. I was just saying. that.
Saquon put up 6 yards per carry last week. Like, I think that the Giants are a legitimate playoff team. I think that they can play a competitive game against anybody else in the playoffs. But you can't pick them to beat the Eagles. Like, you have to pick the Eagles.
Damn, I had you down for it. You're selling me that you're going to take the Giants.
No, you just can't do it.
Yeah, I disagree with you, Henry, on how good the Giants are. I think this year specifically, the Giants had the best coach in the NFL. I think Brian Daboll was the best coach in the NFL.
Should win Coach of the Year.
I think he should as well. And there's been some other, Kyle Shanahan should be in the conversation, of course. But
Sirianni.
I think, yes, of course, he should absolutely be in the conversation. But the Giants are not a good football. They have way worse talent than the Denver Broncos, in my opinion. And they were able to not just get to the, but win a road playoff game. It doesn't matter this week, though, because the Eagles are just that much, like so much better, where I don't think there's anything Brian Daboll can do in order to let alone keep them in the game, but win the game. So give me the Eagles as well. I think Allie is having a great night tomorrow night.
Let's go.
So we no separation here.
Very late.
Are you and I going to be able to catch Ryan
We'll
if he
see.
continues to do this? The next game, Sunday. These are the 2 games that I am so pumped for. I think they're going to be awesome. Bengals at Bills. This morning, guys, 2 Bengals players ruled out. 2 offensive linemen ruled out. We kind of knew it was going to go that way after how they got injured last week, but 2 offensive linemen for the Bengals ruled out. I think they're 5.5-point dog right now going into Buffalo.
I picked first the last 2.
Henry?
Okay. So I bet on the Bengals in this game. I took the money line because I figured I should just take whoever has the plus money. And I'm trying to decide whether I should be consistent. I mean, the thing is, like, this is just going to be a good game. I think it's going to come down to the last 2 minutes. I think either team can win. I think that losing those linemen is big. We saw, I mean, that was the point of their offseason this year, was just trying to rebuild that offensive line. Got it all healthy. It looked good. And now 2 guys gone. There's no Von Miller on the other side, though, so are they really going to be able to capitalize?
True.
I don't know. Give me Joe Burrow. I think he's shown less holes in his game.
This is going to be a nice thing for you, Zach. I truly believe that when Josh Allen wakes up in the morning, he thinks like, I got to win this for Buffalo. Like, I got to do this. It would be so important for me to do this. And that's a nice way to think. I think that when Joe Burrow wakes up in the morning, he thinks, I'm going to kick the Bills' ass.
Yeah.
And I just can't bet against that.
Exactly.
He just has it so much. I can't bet against Joe Burrow. So give me Joe Burrow.
Wow, and you said that would be a good thing for me.
You thought you were going to be the underdog here.
But I had a revelation about Joe Burrow. Really totally changed my view on him. But first, I got to tell you about our friends over at FOCO. But you don't want to miss this one. It's a big one, too. FOCO, the best place to get not just apparel, but gear of any type you can get over at FOCO. They have so many cool things, whether you're not just looking for Broncos, but vintage Broncos, you're looking for Avs, you're looking for memorabilia to commemorate something that's going on. Our friends over at FOCO have that, and they can hook you up. So if you go check out FOCO, you get 10% off by using the promo code DNVR, all non-presale items. That's code DNVR over at FOCO. Go check it out. I mean, if you want to get yourself a gift or someone else a gift, there's no better thing than to check out than all the unique things they have at FOCO, and that's what really separates them is the unique things. So check them out. FOCO, use that code DNVR. Okay, guys, like I said, revelation. I've hyped this up a lot. What? Nice and quick? Yeah, thank you. Joe Burrow, I found out last week, is a cat guy. He likes cats. I am so all in on Joe Burrow because of that. Hey, I like dogs too.
Might be enough to get me to change my pick.
Oh, wow. I think you should. Maybe this was, trying to make you change your pick. Joe Burrow was on, I think, Colin Cowherd, and asked if he's a dog guy or something about dogs, and he said, I'm not a dog guy, I'm a cat guy. And my heart changed.
Was that? My heart changed. Are you sure that wasn't like a pun about how he plays for the Bengals?
No, it definitely wasn't, because I thought about that too. I was like, no, it was it? No. He's just all in on cats. So
I'm gonna live in the world where he was just that was a good Bengals pun.
No, I think he got to change to Josh Allen.
Has there ever been more of a dog guy than Josh Allen? Like, you don't even need to hear him talk.
He's
just the most
kind of like a dog.
Yeah. Exactly.
Not just die. I mean, is there any more golden retriever left?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Henry. Like, you can't tell me that man doesn't just love playing frisbee with a dog. Like, that's probably going to spend half of his offseason.
So you
imagine how far Josh Allen could throw a frisbee.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I'm all in on cats.
Oh, heck
yeah.
yes.
Oh, no, that's the way to go.
Ryan?
I'm in on cats in the sense that Bengals are cats, and I'm picking the Bengals.
Okay.
Wow.
Man, you're right, though. This is a huge missed opportunity for me to take the favorite at home.
None of us are taking
Bills.
a 2-1, or we're all taking a 2-1 underdog.
Yeah, almost a touchdown favorite. This is tough.
Yeah.
This is tough for us, but hey, I'm a big believer in Joe Burrow now. So, but honestly, guys, Joe
Pretty cool.
Burrow's,
I'm guaranteed to be in the lead still next week.
It's very true.
That
You
is
are.
true.
Joe Burrow played behind a terrible offensive line last year. Made it to the Super Bowl. This isn't something that Joe Burrow hasn't dealt with before. And I think a huge thing, if Von Miller was playing, I just have to pick the Bills.
Yeah, you don't pick against Von Miller in the playoffs.
Does Von Miller still get credit for being the only player to win a Super Bowl with 3 different teams if the Bills win this year? Like
Probably.
he will still have that.
Yeah.
But like, are you still counting it?
He had some great games during the season.
Okay.
Like there is a domino effect to that. If they lose a game or two, now it looks like they're going to play the neutral site game instead of going to Kansas City in the championship game.
No, because the Bengals are going to win.
So true.
Yeah. But if
in that
this
world,
point,
in that
you're right,
world,
you're right.
yeah,
And
yeah,
Atlanta,
in that
right?
world.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, so I mean, he has
Terrible choice, by the
He's
way.
helped them. He's helped them. He gets credit.
Where should it have been?
Plays with the newest, freshest field in the NFL.
That
You
would be
can't-
so much. I would so go to that game.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
every Broncos fan would, and they'd all just boo the Chiefs. There was no way
that would
was
be
gonna happen.
electric.
It
There
would
was no
be.
way.
People have wanted to cheer for Josh Allen for so long.
Yep.
They would love that.
There's a
You get all the
reason it's an
Wyoming
NFC.
fans coming down.
Oh man, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There is a reason.
I didn't actually even consider that as like it would hurt the Chiefs' home
Oh,
field
yeah.
advantage.
It's probably why
Ima-
they didn't do it there
Yeah.
or in New York. Or
Imagine
Why
something
not
if you were
LA?
a Bronco fan, and it's like, yeah, I mean, we're playing this neutral site game. How about the Broncos play in Kansas City? How would you feel about that? Like, wait, no, we're not going to
Right,
Kansas
right.
City.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't be scared of their fans.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so we're all going Bengals, and then I think
That's
another
crazy.
great game is Cowboys going into San Francisco to play Brock Purdy. Does the Purdy magic continue?
Not a great game.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This actually low key has worst game of the weekend
No way.
potential.
In what way?
I just really think Dak is gonna fall on his face
Really?
in like really embarrassing fashion.
Huh.
Like a couple pick sixes, maybe a strip sack. That defense is just so good.
They are.
And last week, was solid for Dak. I think this one might get ugly.
However, saying last week was solid for Dak, you're right. The first two drives, though,
I know.
where I was thinking, wow, Dak's really going to do this.
If Tom was like
Yeah.
even a respectable football player in that game, they might have won.
Yep. If Tom doesn't throw that what was that interception? I mean, he was trying to throw it away. If you're throwing it away, how can you not throw it out of bounds? He was
He's
at
a
the
weak
5-yard
old man.
line.
He's
He was
a
at the
weak old man.
5-yard line.
Weak old man.
All he had to do was throw a 15-yard pass, and it's not.
Can't make it up the stairs anymore.
My good, apparently not. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you. But I'm going Cowboys.
Oh, let's go.
I'm getting a game on Ryan. I think this is going to be such a good game. I
Yep.
just think, man, I just hate continuing to doubt Purdy because he just always proves me wrong.
He's
I'm
going
gonna say the Cowboys.
He's going full Roethlisberger.
He's taking a beating this week, though.
Purdy.
Yeah, I mean, Micah Parsons, that pass rush.
Oh, like you mean he's going to
Yeah.
get hit?
Yeah, I mean, that's.
I thought you meant like in the media he was taking
No.
a beating.
No.
Like,
He will
why?
never. He will be beloved forever.
I wouldn't be surprised if 49ers win. Give me Cowboys. I'm going to be a game back of Ryan after this weekend.
See, so I was going to take the 49ers, even though I think it's a close game. Then Ryan said all those things about how it's not going to be a close game, which made me want to take the Cowboys.
Oh,
Luckily, Zach fell on that sword for me.
Oh.
So I can just take
we
the
go. There we
49ers
go.
because they are the
Love
better
it.
team. Like, they are the better team. I do. When I go to bet on this, I haven't looked at the odds. I'm probably just going to take the Cowboys money line because I feel like things are not lining up. Like, I think that's the value. But if you're picking a winner of this game, how do you not take the 49ers?
There we go.
Loser has
Love
to take the fall for 28-3.
Wait, what?
Kyle Shanahan,
Oh,
49ers,
wow.
Dan Quinn,
Oh,
Cowboys.
I love it. I love it, man. This is good.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of points in this game. That might be the real bet, too. Over.
I don't know. Kyle Shanahan, like, his game plan is just going to be so good.
Yeah, and I think that that Cowboys offense and the Cowboys defense too. Like that is a good defense. That
Yeah.
shouldn't be forgotten. But that Cowboys offense also. I mean, Dak last week was insane. It's like 350 yards or whatever with 4 touchdowns and no interceptions.
Yeah.
Like that's there's no reason both teams can't put up 30.
I think there is. And the reason is the Niners defense.
The Niners defense is so freaking good. The over-under 46. It's a little higher than I would have thought with the 49ers defense in this game.
Yeah, but
Just
I mean
because of how
again,
good that defense
those
is.
weapons.
You love the over then.
I do love the over.
What I love in this game is the +4 from the Cowboys side. I don't know if they're going to win, but I think it's going to be a fun game.
Yep.
Man, a blowout.
Yeah, I think we're getting one good game this weekend.
And that is Bengals.
Bengals, Bills. I think that Jags, Chiefs has potential if that curse thing is still around.
Man,
I think we get 3. I think we get the Bengals game, so Bengals, Bills, Cowboys, Niners, and then one of the 2 tomorrow. I'll say
Wow.
50-50 for both.
Yeah, that Eagles game is just not going to be fun.
You don't think so?
No. Eagles are going to dominate.
Could be. Could be.
A lot of touching wood, I hear, from the Eagles contingent. Shall we get into some comments, some questions?
Let's do it.
First, I think we got some super chats. First one coming in from Willie Thomas. Thank you, Willie. He says, if Dan Quinn crushes the interview, it'll be awkward for Peyton. Did you really choose Hackett over that guy? And I think it's a great point. I think that's also another reason why there's so many people that are down on Dan Quinn. It's like, Nathaniel Hackett beat you out last year, and now you're going to try to turn to Dan Quinn and try to sell him on the Broncos?
I think Dan Quinn was like minus 150 at one point on DraftKings.
He was.
Yeah. I mean, that just felt like a George Payton heat check to me. Like he was feeling himself. He's been like, yeah, I've been GM here for a year. Things are going pretty well. I get to hire my guy. How about this young guy working with Aaron Rodgers? Yep, we're going to take a big swing on quarterback. Who knows? Maybe it helps there too.
Oh,
but
man. Sometimes it's good not to do the heat check.
Most
Just
often,
take the layup.
typically the heat check is a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's just so cool when it works that it's tough to say no.
He did the, oh gosh, what was that player? Oh, Nick Young, Swaggy P.
Oh, yeah.
Follow through, turn around, and it rattles out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what this was also like? This was like the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game at the end of the first half, going for the touchdown instead of the field goal, where it's like, well, they're still not going to lose the game, right? It was like for George last week, even if this hire doesn't work, he's still going to be hitting on Russell Wilson and all these other things until you realize, oh shit, everything's going to come crashing down right now.
Yep. Amazing. Oh, what a game that was.
I mean, if they kick the field goal, doesn't it make it like another possession? And then it's like almost impossible for the Bengals to come back?
Yeah.
Wow.
Especially if they weren't playing the Chargers.
Wait, what?
If they were playing the Chargers, they could come back from anything.
Yeah, it's true. That's actually, and I had to get to say this earlier about the Jaguars. That's why I don't give too much credit to the Jags for coming back in terms of how it impacts this week. I think that was more the Chargers, just totally chargering.
That was a big chunk of it.
I can't argue with you there.
Yeah. I'd still think one of those two games is going to be good. We will be entertained at some point tomorrow.
Thank God.
I hope so.
Hopefully not the second one. All right, Bronco. It's a super sticker. All right. Let's imagine this, guys. A pear character doing a Shaka sign with his hand saying, cool.
Oh,
that's what that's called?
Shaka. Yeah, Shaka. Do we think that the hand is actually the tip? You know, the
No.
Oh, it has actual hands.
Yeah, pear with hands.
Could you imagine eating a pear that has hands? Like it has eyes as you take a bite. You're just looking at that.
Oh,
I never got one of those holiday pears this year.
Oh, yeah, we did. The grandparents always send them.
The Harry and Davids.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Wow.
Those take pears to a whole other level.
Those are good pears.
Why can't we make all pears like those?
It's really, it's a great question.
A good question.
Yeah, why can't all pears made Harry and David?
We can be thankful all pears don't have arms.
You're swallowing the bite and just a hand is gripping onto your tongue as it's going down. Oh, man.
You want a pear? Yeah, hold on, let me just remove the arms.
Sorry, buddy.
It's just flopping. The hand is just flopping.
I gotta go watch, what's that called? Sausage Party?
Oh,
that's a good movie.
I haven't seen it.
No.
Yeah.
With the talking food?
Yeah, haven't seen that one.
Yeah, that sounds like adult animation, which I hate.
When's the last time you tried?
Adult animation can mean something totally different.
I can't. I can't watch like South Park.
What about like
and
The
those
Simpsons?
shows. Yeah, nope.
Wow.
Can't get into them. Family, nope.
I'm gonna start sending you some clips.
No, I won't watch them.
Just some clips.
It creeps
Just
me
a
out.
couple clips.
Creeps me out. Nope, can't do it.
No.
It puts me in a weird spot.
Huh.
Yeah.
How?
Like the darkest I've ever been is just watching those shows.
Rick and Morty?
Yeah, no, can't do it.
You would. I think if
No,
you sat down and tuned in.
I can't. I even thinking about it, I can't go there.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
I love a new Zac Stevens quirk.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I don't know if people like that one though.
No, it won't be popular.
We should have Henry, when Zach's not here one day, we should draft Zac Stevens quirks.
Oh boy, that'd be a long
good one.
Yeah.
All right, last super chat from Mike Trout, who says, Hank, when can you play our Madden game? He was willing to pay to find out.
Very true.
This afternoon would be good. Tomorrow morning could also be good if we can't do this afternoon. Thumbs down for that. Thank you.
Yeah, I played Henry last week, and I asked Hank, when can you play? And he said, anytime there's not a football game. And I said, I can get behind that.
That's a great
Yeah,
answer.
that's basically my rule.
Yeah.
Also, while my
Or a
girlfriend
Nuggets
is
game.
working. So this afternoon.
There you go.
Smart
Yep.
man.
All right. Wow. Jared said this pod is a literal sausage party every day.
So
Wow.
true.
We have Allie right
So
here.
true.
We do. You just can't see her.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate for you guys.
Hopefully you
Yep.
can't see our sausages.
Okay.
Hopefully not.
Again, this,
Call Zach.
I had to end the week on a high
You
note.
can't say something like that and then say you wouldn't like sausage
that's
party.
coming up in the presidential campaign.
Oh, no. Okay, I do have to put myself in that mindset moving forward.
Yes. Presidential Zach only.
I'm going to edit the hell out of it.
All right.
Wow.
Oh, we're not going to end the show quite yet. Do we have any
Oh.
questions on the website?
We do have some questions on the website. One coming in from Brew Lock says, how do you guys feel about this dead man walking approach to the draft and offseason with George Paton? If Paton is the guy going into that night, does he try to nail it as a talent evaluator? Is his only bright spot so far? Or is he 1 foot out the door in light of the uncertainty? I personally would have a tough time grinding through the talent pool for gems in the late to mid rounds if I was pretty sure I'm just waiting to be fired eventually. On top of that, would that dysfunction trickle down to other parts of the talent evaluation and scouts who are uncertain what the FO wants when evaluating talent? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, as I'm not super familiar with how it works operationally and wonder if these question marks could potentially spell disaster. P.S. I realize he's likely going to be an advisor type role come draft day, but that opens up a whole other can of worms on how much you trust everyone else to make those picks, including the new coach, especially if there's a good chance it's only the later picks.
I kind of look at this twofold. One side of me thinks like it's just like a week 18 game where a lot of the players know I'm not coming back next year.
Yeah.
But they're like, well, I got to put out good tape for the rest of like this is my livelihood on the chopping block here. Mm-hmm. So I think George Paton, as a professional, would try to kill it because it's in the end it's going on his resume.
Right.
Yes.
That being said, it is weird and uncomfortable, and it's not what I would prefer. I would think that if you were to hire Jeff Ireland to be your GM and you wanted to do that, he's done all the work on the draft class.
It's true.
It's not like he has to change everything because he has a new roster. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the needs would change, but you don't only evaluate your needs; you evaluate everything.
Yep.
So, and I think he's director of college scouting is like his second title, like assistant GM, director of college scouting is like his title. So, like he's doing this stuff.
Yeah.
I would much rather, if that's your guy, fire George Paton, bring him in, let him do the draft.
I wonder what that process is like, though. Because, like, if you do all that, I feel like the Saints could claim all of that work as their own.
They would. They would probably keep it. You would just imagine that Jeff would remember.
He would just have, like, a good
Wait,
idea of what he's looking for.
You're saying, like, he has, like, a Google sheet, and they're like, that's our Google sheet.
I bet.
Exactly, yeah.
No.
I think so.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
think so.
I think
No.
so. And I bet if you... I don't even think it's a Google sheet, but, I mean, they probably have thousands of pages of notes on all these guys. And I don't think he would be allowed to copy it. They might let him, but I don't think they'd... Technically, it would be their property.
We have a lot of obviously with the company, a lot of behind the scenes paperwork and systems that we use. If you were to leave, Ryan, and go to another company, you would know, all of that in your head. You would be able to bring that and start those at a different company, but you wouldn't be able to like copy all of this and like put it on a file and move it over to the other company.
Fair enough. I mean, it's not a 1-for-1 comp, but I see what you're saying. I just think, like, I assume he has his own personal board of players, and that's what it really comes down to. Like, he's used the input from the scouts and everything, but then he's made like his top 250 list or whatever.
You're
and
right.
He's
You're
got
right.
each position ranked.
Yeah. He would definitely be able to bring some stuff, I think.
Definitely. But again, like when it comes time to say like, here's these 5 guys, you might need to redo all that work about here are all their strengths, here are all their weaknesses. What Denver has sent these 3 scouts out there, and this one said this, and this one said that, and we use Denver scouts, and they had these conversations, whereas he might have been working off other conversations with whoever who works there who said like, actually, that kid doesn't really show up for class or whatever. So I do think that there's a bunch of details. You come up with a good sense. You come in with a good sense.
Yeah.
All right. C. Fillmore 72 says, of the 8 teams remaining, who would you most like to see win the whole thing, and who the least? And if you could pick a Super Bowl matchup, who you'd like to see face off on February 12th, who would it be? If it's the Eagles to prevail against the Bills for me, go Birds. Look at that, Allie.
Boy, in the NFC, I mean, Eagles for, Allie.
Exactly.
But come on, Brock Purdy actually making it there. Kyle Shanahan, I know a lot of people here would want to see Kyle Shanahan succeed. So give me the 49ers to play. Boy, I guess the Bills. I mean, I was going to go.
Yeah.
No, I got to go with my cat guy. Joe Burrow.
Oh.
Bengals. Yep, easy.
I think I'd take Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's
I think
also fair.
that'd be nice. Honestly, I think I'd take the Giants too. I think there's just something about the non-threatening, like,
Yeah.
where it's just like, just give me the upsets. It'd be kind of a fun run. It'd be kind of a lame Super Bowl because you don't really have the star power. But who knows? Maybe Saquon goes for 200 yards or something. The 49ers would be up there, but the Broncos pick, like, there's just a tangible reason to not cheer for them.
Give me Eagles Jags because usually the Cinderella story like comes to an end in the final game. So like the Jags would be like, oh my God, they did this. And then they'd get a little too caught up in the vibes of the Super Bowl, maybe party a little too hard, and the Eagles would beat them.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I think, though, it's going to be Eagles Chiefs.
That is what I think as well. Yep.
I think Eagles, Cowboys, Niners all have a chance.
Yeah,
I do too.
I'm actually going to say it's Chiefs versus the winner of Sunday's Cowboys 49ers game.
I don't mind that.
Well, I don't know. Coach Prime said in the Cowboys game on the Manning cast, he's like, oh, yeah, if they win this one, they're going to the NFC Championship. He was so confident about it that it shook me to my core.
He was.
Wait, the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, but they have to play the Niners.
I thought I meant this one about the Niners. But the thing, I don't think the Niners are that good. Like, they're good, but they're not like to me, it's the Chiefs tier 1, and then there's like a bunch of teams who are just kind of all in right there.
Man, I just think the 49ers, outside of the quarterback position, are the best team.
Yes.
And then Brock Purdy's playing incredible.
Yep.
But do you believe in him?
Exactly. And that's where, like, give him, if Dak just forces him to score 30 this week, it puts him in a tough spot. If the Eagles force him to score 30 the next week, it puts him in a tough spot. And I think he'll probably be able to do it, but I don't know. I think it's a pretty even race between those three teams.
I think Dak's going to force him to score like 7.
I don't know why.
I'm envisioning 2 defensive touchdowns. I don't know why.
Wow.
I can only just go with my heart.
Yeah.
Mike Trout comes back. One more super chat. If you're not walking up to the office with a flash drive on your last day, you're doing it wrong.
Wow.
Maybe second to last day, so it's not as obvious.
Right. I mean, it's not like anyone could see it.
It's really true. Do you have flash drive on you?
I always stay strapped.
Are you on this show on Monday?
A flash drive could mean a lot of things.
Whoa. I don't know how that relates to sausage parties.
Flash?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Roy says, oh, okay. I think we actually have
Oh, no.
a couple more comments, but we'll get to that.
See, the count says, let's imagine that the Saints ask for a player in the trade for Sean Payton. You can protect only 3 from being shipped to the Big Easy. Who are your 3 no-deal players? Love the count.
Pat,
Yep.
Jerry.
Jerry, Quinn?
No.
No.
You don't think so? Pro Football Focus had him as the number 5 guard in the NFL this season.
That's actually
And
really
I don't think they're wrong. I think he was the best player on that offense.
Do you think that the Saints would ask for Russell Wilson?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Okay, so
No.
you don't have to worry about protecting him.
No, take him.
Okay. Boy, Justin? I mean, do you just go with best player?
I would say
There's a
Justin.
case for Justin, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he creates turnovers at an insane rate.
He does.
So then they could take Quinn. They could take who's someone that you'd really? I mean, they could take Cortland, Garrett. Yeah, I think those are the 3.
I think I might take Quinn over Justin. 2 more years on a rookie deal.
Fair.
Yeah, it's true. Just guard position.
True.
All right, last one here from Denver Rivals. Hey guys, hope you've been well. I'm excited for tomorrow night at the DNVR bar for the Denver Rivals and DNVR Avalanche
Let's
watch
go.
party. Party starts around 8 p.m. There will be a raffle where people that donate $20 to the Alzheimer's Association Denver Rivals program will get a chance to win a snowboard and Avs goodies. Hope to see y'all there. I will say the Jags have a shot to beat the Chiefs if our Broncos can put up 20-plus points on them. For this Broncos offseason, do you think any players would potentially be traded in a Sean Payton type trade? Do you think we trade talent in our wide receiver room or defense to acquire O-linemen that fit the team's scheme? Can't believe Brady screwed me over again. If I had a 6-leg wild card parlay, I would have hit 5 out of 6. Either way, How about those Nuggets? Avs are bouncing back. Hope the Broncos get the coach to get us winning again. Oh, yeah, and the Rockies. Go DNVR and support Denver Rivals tomorrow night at the DNVR bar. Boom.
Yes.
Support the homie Denver Rivals and the
Yes.
DNVR bar.
Boom. You can have
Wow.
some Breck brews too.
Come watch some of the playoff games. Watch the Avs game.
Yep.
It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, man. It is a beautiful thing. The Broncos may have a coach soon.
They could.
I've seen the poll results.
Let's
Good
see
news
'em.
for you, Zach.
Yeah.
We put it out there.
Not good news for me.
Best performance on the show
Wow.
gets the 6-pack of beer. So here you go.
Oh,
Wow.
I
One.
thank you.
45% of the vote.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Zach.
wow.
Wow.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Don't worry, I
Wow.
won't drink them all in one night.
Maybe in a month.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
some
Someone wants
more
me
You're
to
on a
shotgun.
bender?
Roy wants me to shotgun one now. If I shotgun an Avalanche Amber Ale, I'll be done.
You're just done for the
How
day.
about this
That'd
little
be the end
teaser?
of the day.
Next Friday.
Next Friday?
Next Friday.
You'll,
How about that?
You'll shotgun an abs?
Whoa.
Yep. How about that?
On the show?
maybe not Navs.
Well, you'll shotgun a beer on the show next Friday.
A
love-
Breckenridge beer.
If what? We need the fans to do something.
I was gonna say if they have a coach.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
If let's think about that.
Yeah.
What do we have any like
Well, then
Really?
definitely. May not be a shotgun, maybe just a full chug.
All right, if we get the DNVR Broncos Twitter account to 25,000 followers by next Friday, it's at 24.4. We need 600.
600.
That's
600
that's
followers
steep
by
task.
next Friday.
Yep.
Zach shotguns a beer on the show next Friday.
If that happens
follow
too,
it.
I will do whatever beer. So it can be an Avalanche. It can be whatever.
Wow.
Whatever beer.
I would go easy on you. I don't want to see
Okay.
you in pain.
Okay, well, it's your choice.
Okay.
You two's choice.
I don't want to see you in pain, but does the internet?
The internet.
It's
loves
true.
pain.
It's true. So DNVR_Broncos on Twitter, right?
DNVR_Broncos on Twitter. 600 followers in a week. Really not that much of an ask. Zach shotguns a beer on the show next Friday.
Wow.
Your
Boom.
choice.
All
Any
right.
beer.
That is going to wrap it up for us this week. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. Try and get us to 100 thumbs up here in the last few seconds.
Let's go.
But
Yes.
we will catch you next week on the DNVR Broncos podcast.